Good morning. Welcome to Devotions this Tuesday, 31st of May. My reading this morning is the set reading, Romans 8, verse 14 following. For those who are led by the Spirit of God are the children of God. The Spirit you received does not make you slaves, that you live in fear. Again, rather, the Spirit you received brought about your adoption to sonship. And by him we cry, Abba, Father. The Spirit himself testifies with our spirit that we are God's children. Now, if we are children, then we are heirs, heirs of God and co-heirs with Christ. If indeed we share in his suffering, in order that we may also share in his glory. The power of the Spirit is an indication that we are included in God's family. The Spirit makes us children of God, as it says in verse 8:14. And so there is the synergy between Jesus, the Spirit, and ourselves. We are heirs. All the things like peace, righteousness, and life that Jesus shares with God, we have inherited as well. In our sometimes weak moments of keeping the faith, the Holy Spirit is cheering from the sidelines, encouraging us not to follow our own desires, but to pray before we act. God's way over our way. When we need comfort, the Spirit reminds us that Jesus is the shepherd and does forgive us. Remember that lovely devotion that Craig did, modernizing whom we see as a shepherd. When we need correction, we do get those promptings, or we remember the sermons and the readings. In Luther's commentary of the Apostles' Creed, he says that the Holy Spirit has called me through the gospel, enlightened me with his gifts, made me holy, and kept me in the true faith. When we think we're not enough, God's Spirit reminds us that we were fearfully made in his image. To be heirs is not only to be brought into right relationship with God, but to be joint heirs with Christ. Tap into his power. We are one big extended family with all its messiness and troubles. Abba is an intimate word, like daddy. And the idea that anyone would address God so familiarly as Abba would astonish anyone. However, Paul tells us that we are permitted this intimacy because we are children of God. Paul correctly confronts the fact that the life-giving Spirit does not protect Christians from suffering and pain. It's an honest reflection of the struggle we all feel when we are horribly tempted. The way that you win at times like that is to remember who you are. One could almost say that Jesus is our sibling, so that we can cry out to God as a child cries to a parent, or to a mom, or to a dad. Dying to the flesh and the body means dying to fear and those things which hold us in bondage. To be a child of God is to be free, free from fear and free from the power of death. We have the power to walk according to the Spirit, if we choose to. Remember who you are and cry out to him when you need to. I hope you have a lovely week, and we'll see you next time.